A record of corruption acts, continued. Here is a general introductory readout of the acts of corruption crimes, and war crimes, committed by the dominion of corrupt organizations and government communities, during the age of advancement, which follows. Incarceration corruption. Guerrilla incarceration by racketeering. Corrupt incarceration. Abduction by incarceration. Kidnapping by incarceration. False incarceration. Psychotronic torture and terrorism. Psychotronic harassment and assault. Psychotronic extortion and terrorism. Tactical provocation strikes, by harassment mobs. Psychotronic phantom pain infliction. Psychotronic phantom pain harassment. Hostage by incarceration. And Deadpool creation. A record of corruption acts, continued. Provocation by assault and torture. Provocation by psychotronic harassment and assault. Provocation by human torture. Tactical psychotronic provocation. Tactical psychotronic harassment strikes. Tactical psychotronic harassment and terrorism. Tactical psychotronic torture, assault, and terrorism. And other psychotronic, tactical strikes. Corrupt infiltration of government bioweaponry. Mind anatomy alteration, as a biomedical crime. Tactical stalking and harassment. Tactical psychotronic harassment. Government administration corruption. Government administration, infiltration, and corruption. Mobbing inside government departments. War crimes, by infiltrating government departments. War crimes, by mobbing inside government departments. And the fleeing from work dead. For international governmental reconstruction. A record of corruption acts, continued. Deadpooling. Deadpool creation. Exploitation and abandonment. Usury and abandonment. Psychotronic terrorism. Psychotronic human torture. Psychotronic provocation, by human torture. Torture, and human torture. Entrapment, for corrupt incarceration. Bioterrorism. Bioweapon of defense, corrupt use, and terrorism. Robotic and machinery terrorism. United States-owned, biodefense weaponry, corrupt use. Human vessel invasion, by corrupted bioweaponry. Human vessel invasion, using cloning technology, as a biomedical crime. Bioweapon terrorism. Sound bombardment, assault, and manslaughter. Sound energy bombardment, assault, and manslaughter. Electromagnetic energy bombardment. Assault, and manslaughter. A record of corruption acts, continued. Citizen reparation, rights system, corruption. Extortion, with provocation to incarcerate, by racketeering. Extortion to incarcerate, by racketeering. Extortion, and psychotronic extortion. Government administration corruption. Attempted murder, by tactical mobbing. Attempted murder, by government administration corruption. Attempted murder, by civil engineering, death trap creation. Attempted murder, by civil engineering, corruption. Banking corruption. money hoarding, and resource hoarding. Corruption in the money lending systems. Banking system corruption, and money hoarding. Job and employment corruption, by job hoarding. Job and employment hoarding. Money hoarding. Defiance, incessancy, and congressional operation, of corruption. A record of corruption acts, continued. Death trap creation. Attempted murder, by civil engineering, death trap creation. Civil engineering, corruption. Civil engineering, death trap creation. Civil engineering, trap creation and trap setting. Civil engineering, safety negligence, by intent. Attempted murder, and attempted manslaughter, by coordination of traffic. Terrorism, and terrorism by insolence. Corrupted intent, in connection with tyranny attempts. Terrorism, of tactical technological war strikes, and assaults. The acts of corruption. Corrupt infiltration, of national bioweapon defense systems. Terrorist infiltration, of national bioweapon defense systems. Soldier-citizen, merit systems and soldier-citizen, work systems corruption. A record of corruption acts, continued. High level, human experimental, exploitation, and abandonment. Human experimentation, without consent or compensation. Reckless, human experimental exploitation, and abandonment. Oppression, and corrupted incarceration. Experimental exploitation, without pay or compensation. Military experimentation, and exploitation, without consent or compensation. Experimental exploitation. Experimental exploitation, by corruption. Manslaughter, by human experimental exploitation. Bioexperimental exploitation. Infringement, without compensation. War crime, by corruption, in covert, against citizens. War crime, as the operation of corruption. And tyranny attempt, by war crime. A record of corruption acts, continued. Our technology, and resources, make, and deliver. Every desire of food, machinery, and appliance. Entertainment, and toy. That we desire. And these acts of corruption persist. Corruption, and war crime. In covert, against the citizen. How intelligent is the average adult person in our society? We, being in the 21st century. It's our level of intelligence that makes it so disturbing to see the kind of corruption and madness still happening. War crime, as the operation of corruption. And tyranny, as the intent of these war crimes. We know what a monarch is. Where a culture of government lives under the authority of a single, or group, of families. Tyranny is a more negative essence of a monarch. Where the leader, or leading family controls the government and functions of the society, in a nature of oppression, evil and recklessness towards others. The people are subjected to their rulership. And the people virtually have no civil rights. The people are not allowed to live free. To live freely, to buy, and sell freely. To earn money, or to have livelihood, or personal business. There is no freedom, to travel about anywhere. To free parts of the community, land, or country. In the age of advancement, in the world where Annam lived, in the way that it was. An existence of tyranny, in essence, was like absurd. Considering our free culture, and our technology. But, ironically, as years passed, society was becoming more advanced. And wealthy communities became more secretive. And the resources, though they were more resourceful, and more advanced, they became more unavailable, to the poorer class. Corruption, and war crime. In covert, against the citizen. These events seemed particular to the phase, of our level of advancement, particularly, as society advanced, from generation 4 to generation 5. Imagine, living in a society, where the wealthy lived, in high, and distant, unreachable places. And a great part of the world, lived in the slums. The poor who lived in the slums, were eventually oppressed by the wealthy, who had technological powered wealth, that tyrannized and subjugated the poor, and those less fortunate. What really happens then, to the people who live in the slums? These events seemed particular to the phase, of our level of advancement, particularly, as society advanced, from generation 4 to generation 5. Woe to the people, who lived in the suburban and rural areas. For this is where the tragic oppression, of corrupt incarceration, is the worst.